Good afternoon, friends. It's a Monday. Work was pretty slow today. I was able to handle most of the issues that came up remotely, so that was kind of nice. So took the afternoon to actually get some stuff done around the house. Just got back from the hardware store, picked up some carpet pad, installation tools, and grabbed this load of cheap one-by material from Menards as well. My plan is to take this and turn it into kind of some rustic trim for the baseboard and around the windows in the room in the house that I'm turning into my office. And that's what the carpet pad is for too. So that's what I got going on this week and weekend instead of, working on the mechanicals of stuff out here. But the main reason that I wanted to pop in and say something was because a while ago when I had that John Deere 750, the tractor, and put a couple videos out on that about the things that I had to do to it, there were a couple things that I had to do that I did not film or I filmed and didn't post. And I've had some people comment on those videos asking questions about certain things, or I've been having conversations with people in the comments about things that I did to it or things that it needed and issues that I had with it and whatnot, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, just kind of wanted to film a quick intro, I guess, to, get into that. God, I can't think of the word. Introduction, maybe? Can't think of the word that I want to use. But yeah, quick introduction into the video clips that I have of everything that I had to do to that tractor. And really, it's just one clip about an issue that I had with the four-wheel drive mechanism on that tractor. It was real simple, real easy to fix. The only thing that was kind of a bear was taking off the drive shaft from the rear transmission that went up to the front differential. But anyway, yeah, here's that process. Well, how's she going today, boys and girls? 10 gold stars to anybody that knows what this is. I don't know why you would know, but hey, I'll just tell you. This is the, I guess you'd call it the, I don't know what you would call it, but it engages and disengages the four-wheel drive on the old JD 750 here. And there's a little piece in there called a shoe that's all nice and wore out. And I'm kind of starting to think that this old girl lived more of a rough life than I had originally thought. And I guess how good it runs right now is probably just a testament as to how well they were made. Maybe that hour meter was changed out and it's got way more than 1,200 hours on it. I don't know. Maybe what I'm about to show you is just a product of, I don't know, laziness and stupidity, but we'll see. Good news is, it should be easy enough to fix. I guess, a little backstory here. If you had watched any of my previous videos about this tractor, actually it wasn't even about the tractor, but that's neither here nor there. One of my most recent videos, I was using the tractor to mulch the garden, or put mulch on the garden, and found out that the four-wheel drive was not disengaging. The lever was just flopping back and forth and wasn't actually disengaging the four-wheel drive. So after I came out to the garage tonight and drank a bottle of liquid courage, I got down up underneath here. That's probably something we only say in the Midwest. Anyway, got the four-wheel drive selector disconnected and removed, which, for somebody that's experienced working on tractors may have been an easy task, but for me, I was kind of crapping my pants the whole time, worrying about what unexpected parts were just going to fly out of there and I'd have to find and try and put back together. And thankfully, there's only a couple of ball bearings in the end of the drive shaft here that I'm going to have to try and finagle back together, which is not going to be fun, but at least that's kind of the brunt of it. So I think with a little bit of grease and some patience, it'll go back together easy enough. But anyway, back to what I want to show you. Got the selector down out of there, and I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this. God, I'm getting old. But, so there's this shaft here, this splined shaft. And the selector lever here, yep, this guy right here, moves this gear back and forth on this splined shaft. So this guy right here, this gear, is constantly in mesh with the transmission. And the sliding back and forth of this gear right here on this shaft engages and disengages the transmission, or rather the drive shaft for the front wheel drive with the transmission. So right now it is disengaged, and if I can, I'm going to engage it, and this is not going to work very well, but I'll try. Okay, she just popped back and went into place there. So that is engaged. And you can see, well, no, you really can't see because it's not working, but, oh, and that's why. Okay, now you can see that when I rotate the top gear, it rotates the shaft, which would rotate the drive shaft. And the problem I have, let me try to disengage it. I'm going to set you guys down for a second. Okay, now we're disengaged again. And the problem that I have is that shoe right there. It's called a shoe. I looked up the part number and I can get a new one, but what I'm going to do is just weld that one back up and put it back in there and put her to work. I don't know how this happened, but she is just wore the F out. And since it's in the position that it's in right now, I should just be able to reach in there and grab it. Getting my phone all oily. That's not good. Come on. We'll get out of there. There. It's like magic. And now you can see how magically destroyed that is. Now, this should be one... God, I don't even know what to call it. It's late. It's late. And the brain's kind of not all there right now, but all the missing metal there should be there, hence why it's missing. But the gear and everything seems good in there yet. I don't know how. This must be softer than that, so this just got marred and destroyed, and that's probably why I had a little bit of metal in the bottom of my oil. I don't know. Transmission oil, that is. But I'm going to clean this up, weld it up, grind it smooth, pop it back in there, reassemble the whole thing, and I'll have four-wheel drive again. Thankfully, although this was not that easy to take care of, it wasn't anything major. While I have this off, I was able to look up at the transmission, the majority of the transmission anyway, see all the gears. They all look real good. Teeth on them look nice and everything. So I'm hoping this is just a fluke and this will be the last problem that I run into here, but kind of a pain in the butt. So I'll catch up with you guys when I come back out here and start working on this again. But for now, I'm going to head in the house and probably go to bed. And then tomorrow, I think I'm going to go cut down some trees. So it's Friday night right now. Probably going to pick this up again on Sunday. So we'll see you then. So, as you guys saw there, kind of a weird issue. Seems like it probably happened from someone just, yanking on that lever a little bit too hard. This tractor is the same way. After you engage the four-wheel drive, I'm assuming all tractors are kind of like this. It seems like you have to throw it into reverse, back up a little bit, kind of get a little bit of backlash in the gears or get rid of the backlash in the gears, I guess, just kind of relieve some pressure on things and then just slowly pull that lever to disengage the drive shaft going to the front differential. And like I said, it seems on that John Deere like someone was just like kind of just reefing on it to get it to move because that arm down inside that little bowl that had the shoe on the end of it was just way bent up. And like I said, what I ended up doing was welding up that shoe, and I actually ended up making it just a touch longer than it was originally because of how that arm was bent. But in the end, all said and done, it worked just the same, and it worked great. And then I know I'd mentioned it again, talking to some people in the comments, but the other thing that I had to do with that tractor was replace the head gasket. And some people had mentioned that the reason that probably happened was, maybe the previous owner was using starting fluid to get the engine to start. And I also had that slow turnover issue with it where it seemed like the starter was weak. And now that I think about it, I remember being at the dealer, and because it turned over so slow, the guy that showed it to me did give it just a little whiff of ether to get it going. And it sounds like that was, probably the issue that led to the head gasket blowing. And I had no idea. I didn't know that. I guess I don't fully understand what the reasoning is that you're not supposed to use ether or starting fluid with those little Yanmar engines. So anybody that knows, feel free to enlighten me. Yeah, like I said, I just really, I don't know why you're not supposed to do that, but I've now heard several people say that you're not supposed to use starting fluid on those engines, which makes me wonder, am I supposed to use starting fluid in this tractor? Which, not that I need to, and I don't think that I ever would, but there's all these little nuances about, specific machines and engines and things like that you learn over time, and a lot of times you're like, well, shit, I wish I would have knew that earlier. But anyway, maybe I'll throw in some pictures of the head gasket rebuild here. Just so you guys can see how that went. And I didn't, to be honest, I didn't film any of that just because at that time I was kind of a little bit pissed off about it, I guess is the best way to describe it. Just because I thought I had, a solid working machine, and then, a month into having it and using it, I started to recognize all the problems that I really should have been smart enough to recognize at the dealer. So to be honest, I guess I was a little bit more, mad at myself than anything. It wasn't that I had to do the repairs, because all in all, it wasn't that difficult. And for me, it was a good learning experience. So, but ever since I got rid of that John Deere and then got my hands on this Mitsubishi, this thing has been an absolute workhorse. It's been a dream. I haven't used it in the past 3 months. I should probably get on it and get it fired up here pretty soon and just get it out and get it, run some fuel through it and whatnot. But there's just been really no need for it this year. I bought that 3-point Ford snowblower for it back there, and we haven't had the snowfall that we normally do. The white's been more than adequate for what I've had to take care of. Like I said, I just haven't really had a use for it this winter, but now that the snow is melting, I'm probably going to try and get it out and run it around the yard a little bit. I've got some landscaping projects that I'm going to be doing with it this spring, so I'm looking forward to that. But I think in the future, I'll probably just do a little overview of the tractor. And I don't see too many of these around. I did join a group on Facebook that's all about the gray market tractors, and the guys on there have been more than helpful with questions that I have about this machine particularly. And luckily, the guy that I bought it from was nice enough to give me all the manuals for it that he had and everything. So I'd say all in all, I liked the John Deere. If I had room in here for 2 tractors, I probably would have kept it. But also there's the financial. I'll call it the financial burden, I guess, of having, machinery like that. It's not like I have an excavation business or, landscaping business or anything like that. I work a normal job. And this is all just these are all toys. So, it's enough to keep a guy busy and keep his wallet empty. So, but like I said, I'm pretty happy with that decision. And, I guess that's kind of about it. Like I said, I just kind of wanted to film a little bit of an intro to those clips that I had laying around, just in case anybody else runs into that same issue or wants to know how the 4-wheel drive selector works on that specific tractor. There you go. So, and I think I'm going to go on to probably start trying to get all this 1x material whipped into lumber. I guess what would it be? My grandfather-in-law gave me this old joiner that he had. I'm kind of looking forward to getting this out and using it, just to straighten up the edges on these boards that actually matter, that are going to be, I guess, mating surfaces going up against other flat surfaces, straight surfaces. But all in all, I think this is going to end up looking pretty cool when it's done. I don't know if you guys have ever seen how some people kind of take like a hatchet and just go along this and just kind of hack it up. And I guess the right term is distress it. I really like the way that looks. I'm trying to do my best to make my house look as much like a cabin as I can. I just really like that woodsy, rustic look. So, if anyone's interested in seeing how that turns out, let me know. Maybe I'll break out the camera and make a video of that. We'll see how that goes. You guys can watch me struggle as I learn how to install carpet. Can't be that hard, right? That's what YouTube's for. Just, find another video about somebody else installing carpet and learn how to do it. So anyway, I guess that's about it for now, guys. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.